All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Let's go. Let's grow. This is the Indoor Farmer. I'm your host, Waylon, the Indoor Farmer, and it's 10 a.m. Central Time every Monday. That's when we do the show. We're going to play a little intro video to get this started off and get some notifications out to the peoples for about 4 minutes. So if you could help us out, hit that like button. Maybe share it out to a couple of friends. I would appreciate it. Let's grow.
In a cozy corner of the city, where the wildfire's strong and bright, lives a man named Waylon, with his green thumb at his mic. He's not your typical farmer, no fields, no barn, no plow. His farm's indoors, his harvest shared on the airwaves now. Waylon the Indoor Farmer, with his podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. On Sunday, games are rolling, at 5:30 they start. The Indoor Farmers Game Night, where laughter plays a part. Monday brings his story, how he learned to farm and grow. The Indoor Farmer shares his journey, making it a show. With every episode, a chapter of his life, teaching us to live more green, reducing all our strife. Waylon the Indoor Farmer, with his podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. Tuesdays for the reviews of people, places, things. Waylon's got the scoop, from artisans to local wings. Wednesday we grow Wednesday, where the mind expands, discussing food and farming with experts from the land. He's not just growing plants, but communities as well. Through his microphone he casts a spell. Thursday, people in the boxes, where stories intertwine, with guests from all walks sharing what they've seen. Each podcast is a seed planted in our mind. Waylon's cultivation of culture and of kind. Waylon the Indoor Farmer, with his podcast every night. He's sowing seeds of knowledge, making our world a little more bright. From Sunday through to Thursday, his voice is on the line, bringing folks together, making learning so divine. So if you're feeling lonely or need a touch of green, tune into Waylon's podcast, where the urban farms the scene. He's not just farming indoors, he's harvesting our thoughts. Waylon the Indoor Farmer, connecting all the dots. He's not just growing indoors, he's harvesting our thoughts. Waylon the Indoor Farmer, connecting all the dots. In a cozy corner of the city.
Named Waylon. That's me. Hey, guys. What's up, farmers? What's up, friends? It's Monday once again. It's a new month. Should be getting into that hot heat here in Illinois, at least. For some reason, it's been a really mild summer this so far, so it's interesting. Maybe we'll get like a super hot July. I don't know, but it usually is. So we'll go with that. Anyway, it's Monday, and I've got a lot going on. And you know what? I was feeling a little introspective, a little bit of uh, you know, appreciative of how far I've come. I can, you know, largely supplement several meals. That's a step up from being able to just, hey, there's something I grew, I can just eat. That one little, going from that to here's a bowl full of stuff that I can put into my meal, and spice it up a little bit, give it some more nutrients, right? More flavor. So I've talked about it before. Every so often, though, I try to remember how far I've come and where my progress has led me. And I tell you what, I had multiple goals when I started this. Okay. Well, quickly, I'll just say that this is episode 187, and I will also remind you that we are doing the door prize, and of course, we'll do the spin wheel for our numbers on the subscribers, the indoor farmer community over on Locals. So make sure you go get your number before we get to the end of the show when we do that spin. And also shouts out to the game night winners. Shouts out to JB for winning her first time ever coming up to play, and she won. She'll be back, I guess, next week to defend her title. We're playing a new game this month, so go check it out. Anyway, I started off thinking, what can I do with the rest of my life? Like what is it that I can put myself towards? Back when I was going, I was in a pretty deep depression back then. I have PTSD. If you didn't know that, it's military related, but basically more than anything, I had a loss in the feeling that I had some worth to give, something, some sort of self worth, right? And so because of that, I thought, well, what can I use myself for? What can I put the rest of my energy towards? Because I didn't think I had anything to go towards, And I thought, well, everyone needs to eat. Maybe I can help feed some people, right? Maybe so that's what kind of kicked it off a little bit there. And then it went from there to looking into what veterans do, what veterans are getting into after they get back from overseas. And a lot of veterans were getting into farming. A lot of veterans were there was different groups forming. I joined this group called the Farmer Veteran Coalition, which is interesting. And it started to come together for me. I thought, oh, well, okay, this is something I can do because you know what? There will never be a reason not to have knowledge on growing food. I don't care if you're in space. I don't care if you live in the middle of a grocery store. It doesn't matter. Like there will always be a reason for this kind of knowledge. So I kicked it off and I thought, let me make a podcast out of this. Let me turn it into something that can uplift and to motivate other people that are like me and have never done this before. It's not that I'm out here trying to talk to people who have more knowledge than I do and tell them what to do or tell them how they could do it. I'm all for giving ideas, of course, but I wanted to talk to those types of people, the people with the knowledge, the farmers, the long-term growers, and bring that knowledge to you and me and others that want to learn that stuff and want to get into it. Because there's a lot of people out there that they don't grow anything because a couple things. Either they tried to grow something one time and it just died, and they just think they don't have a green thumb. They're just going to kill it. It's just going to die. That's that one mentality. Another mentality is why would I ever grow plants? Why would I grow my own food? I can just go to the grocery store and get my own food. I don't need that. I do this over here. I weave baskets underwater for money, and then I trade that money for food, right? Well, you're just outsourcing the energy and power and the time and energy that it takes to get that food. So you're just outsourcing it. It's really six one half dozen the other. I love that term. I think even just a little bit of knowledge and not even putting it into practice. I don't even think I think the first step, or at least a baby step that we can make, is people just being a little more aware of it, being more aware, just trying to raise awareness of the fact that any minute, any second, that grocery store could shut down, could have a problem. There could be an, uh, salmonella outbreak or something like that. There's so many little things besides the extreme of like the end of the world, besides getting to that point, just little things that could happen that could make it much harder for you to get your own food. And my whole message isn't just about food, it's about survival, and food is like basically paramount to that. I'm not a green thumb. I am not a plant person. I'm a plant daddy now. Like, I'm a daddy of some plants, but that doesn't mean that I set out to be. That doesn't mean that I love plants. I love what they do for us. I love their potential. I love the relationship that we have between us and nature. So I thought, well, let's build off of that. I can work on this. I can slowly but surely try out little things. Okay, let me try something else out. But now it's time to kick it up a notch. Now it's time to speed that up a little bit and try more things, and actually maybe try less different things and start to focus more on the things that I know now, the things that I've gotten a little better at, which one of those things would be the microgreens, which we are moving towards that. And I actually just, all I have to do is go through the website. I kind of started a little bit, but we're going to be an LLC probably today. I want to make sure, I want to put it in writing now. I want to say that we're going to try and do it today. Maccabees Live Market LLC. It's going to be awesome. I just have to, cross my T's and dot my I's and make sure that everything looks good on that end. But we're gonna hit the ground running. But back up a second. What I really wanted to do was I wanted to, like I said, bring awareness, right? And awareness that isn't just for the survivability or sustainability side of things, but awareness to cannabis, awareness to the uh, the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and including the downsides, but also bringing some awareness to the fact that you know medicine, though there will always be a need for medicine, there will always be a need for pain reduction, inflammation reduction. There's a litany of things that cannabis can provide. But I challenge that norm. I challenge the people um, that think that drugs are okay when it comes from a doctor, but they're not okay if it comes from nature. And there's a big problem with that, because look at all the side effects that you see on all prescription medications. Possible side effects. Well, you can't get rid of that stuff. You can't get rid of opioids. You can't get rid of prescription medication without having something. There has to be something, right? A little shot of whiskey back in the day, right? A little bit of whiskey. But cannabis is what I see it as is a almost, whether or not you see it as better or worse, it is in that same category. We will always need a painkiller, and there will always be a recreational side of painkillings. People that eat Vicodins for fun and all that kind of stuff. That is out there. It's always going to be out there. I'm not saying we shouldn't, push back against the illicit use or the overuse, overdosing. We should always be talking about the ups and downs of anything, even the stuff that we like. Um, I see a lot of people talking about getting out on motorcycles right now, nice weather and stuff. Well, let's get out on the motorcycle. Well, there's a lot of ups and downs on motorcycles. You know what I mean? Anything that you like, there's going to be a downside. So let's just be honest. Let's be honest, people. Try to be genuine. You know what I mean? Um, pull it out into the universe. Yeah, yeah. You want to pull out, Chris. Make sure your game is on point, brother. I see some people coming in on the Facebook. DD Dabs, what's up? James Rivera, hello, hello. We got Kateri, what's up? Unusual friends to pop through, but I do appreciate it. The morning crew is a little different than when I was doing my show at night, so I'm interested to see who we can find in the mornings these days. I know there's some pretty big successful shows throughout the morning, so I know there are people out there. Are you people? Find people, and we'll bring them in here. And anybody on the Facebook, if you would hit some tags, we'll do a door prize. But I'm not gonna do the door prize later unless we've got at least 20 people in here. So we want to challenge you guys for a little bit. But we got a whole bunch of pictures I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up a video and some other things. So let's do that. Let's see. Yeah, I hope everybody's getting some kind of project. Create a project for yourself. A lot of people say, "Well, find a hobby." Well, those are a little different, right? There's a little bit of a difference between hobbies and a project. You can kind of combine the two, but I feel like having something to work towards, having a goal, having um, responsibility under something, that's what gives us meaning. And I'm not the first one to say that. I'm not going to pretend like those are my words, but it is true. I mean, you feel more fulfilled when you have something that you have to work towards, not just not just a deadline or a homework or something that you just don't that you're dreading, but something that you can see your progress and something that you're actually making progress in. And I try to remind myself that the viewers, you guys, the numbers, the likes and shares and all that, that is not my main reason for doing this. Now, it is part of it because I need visibility if I want to raise awareness, right? And so what I want to do is I want to grow my social media presence, grow the podcast to where we can get out there to more and more people to push the message. But yeah, I have to be careful because there's a fine line between me just trying to get that dopamine rush of everybody hitting the like button and all the love that a lot of fake love, but all the love that you see on the social media. um Chasing that can be very distracting. Um but there is a certain percentage of that I have to keep in mind because I want to grow. I want to, no pun intended, I want to make this thing big enough that we can pull in really big guests, like such as big farmers and big agriculture personnel. I have had some pretty big guests on already, so we're hoping to get back to that. But I'm not trying to go out and bug people about being guests until we get things back on track as far as the new schedule and maybe getting some numbers back to where we were. So it is what it is. You have to have a little bit of visibility in order to get more visibility, and it's all about bringing the message to the masses. But I can say this, that part of my goal was to get other people to do some of this stuff, because anytime you do anything and it looks like it's starting to get successful, which I used to look like it was starting to get successful, then people will copy you. People will see that and, oh, I can do what he's doing. I can take that little spiel. And it did work. It happened. I did a lot. I see it a lot, actually, which is good. I want more gardening shows, more, not less. You may find somebody that doesn't know what he's talking about but still talking about gardening, but that's still good. It's a passion behind the subject and behind the culture of it. If we can make it culturally cool, hip, to grow some of your own food, which I think it's starting to get there because of political unrest, economic unrest. There's all turmoil and questioning everybody's motives, and everyone having all of this sort of pent up rage happening. All of that stuff is sort of pushing people back towards a little bit more self-sustainable living, which I think is a good thing. And it actually, to be honest, I think that's going to be the best way to defuse some of these uh, tensions that we're seeing in society, is to get more people to do more things for themselves. Not everyone can do everything for themselves. I get that. I'm not asking you to go and get 40 acres and a mule and start plowing. But you could have a little bitty pot growing some herbs out of it. You could have very small things. You could take your waste products, your compost type products, and you could give them to your neighbor who has a garden. And then you're helping out. Then you're becoming part of the solution and not part of the problem. And again, I hate to just keep making it sound like gardening is my thing. That's a building block. Everybody has to eat, so we have to build off of something. Well, a little home garden, that's a good start. So I don't even have a outside garden. I do have some things outside. We're going to show you in a little bit. Some voluntary plants from last year. We're going to pull that up here. Let's get the pictures going. Yeah, comment below. Tell me what you think about trying to be a little more self-reliant with things, trying to come up with ways to help not just you, but help that connectivity between you and your neighbors, to not just to be friendly, but to find a project that you can work together on. I have a neighbor that's into plants, and I'm always thinking about what that could mean for neighbors to be like working together on something like that. And I'll be pulling that up with some pictures. I'm going to talk about it here in a little bit. Let me find us some tunes here first. Yesterday, I realized that the tunes were very, very, like a little bit too high in audio. So I'm going to make them go way down in audio instead. Okay, pulling up the picture. Here it is. Hi, Rose. Some days are harder than others. Yeah, that's for sure. Tree is my medicine. Yeah, I mean, well, but that's my thing though, Kateria. If you don't do opioids, something has to take its place. Not for someone on an everyday basis, not necessarily, for fun. But society will always need a painkiller for major things. Not just surgery. Surgery, that's a whole nother level. I don't know if we could ever get cannabis strong enough to use it for surgery. But maybe, I mean, they're synthesizing and making things more powerful outside of cannabis. All these opioids. Anyway, I hear you though. Don't do opioids. I don't either, really. James, big side effect of antipsychotics. Thoughts of self-harm. Yeah, yep. Self-harm can be the easiest way for you to not care about any other progress. If you feel like hurting yourself, why would you care to build something new or to work towards a goal? Like, the goal could be just to not do that, not to harm yourself. Sometimes we need small goals to get to our bigger goals. That's fairly an obvious statement, but something I agree with. All right, here is the old aquaponics station today. I took the basil out of it. Took the basil out. It wasn't really growing more, so I did put it in the other grow bed. So we're gonna see if it comes back. I don't think it will, but we'll see what happens. So this was kind of my first setup when I moved into this house, and I've got just wires and cables everywhere across the ceiling. I don't like it, guys. I don't like it. I think when I make a new one, when I create this new system I've been imagining, there's going to be a lot different happening. There's going to be, more solid fasteners on the ceiling to hold this light and hold everything else. I actually can take a lot of this out of here now because it was used for different things when I first started. It just kept adding things to the ceiling. Like there's an old plastic drink, plastic thing that would go on two different jugs of drinks, and that's using. I drilled that in with I screwed that in with some random old reused screws, and the same thing goes with this fastener over here. It's actually comes from a some blinds, or not blinds, but curtain rod kind of holder thing. And then there's another drink, another thing that goes on the top of two gallons. And then here's another. There's an old shower curtain with the shower hooks, and I'm using that to block some of the light out on both sides, so that it also not just blocks it out, but it reflects it back in, so that the light is a little more concentrated inside there. So, slowly but surely I kept adding things to it. I had grown cucumbers at one time, and that's what this lattice is for on the top, on the ceiling there. I had used that to help vine it up onto the ceiling, but there's no light up there, so it didn't make a lot of sense. Did not get any cucumbers out of that. I'm getting a lot of peppers though. Getting a lot of peppers. These pepper plants don't look the healthiest, but they've also been growing for over a year. I mean, I don't even know how long they've been growing. There's 3 pepper plants here that you're looking at. They're all kind of combined. There's a whole bunch of peppers that I can eat anytime. I just let them get bigger, and then I'll just take the biggest one off and eat it first. Here's my mint. Mint is actually looking really healthy for some reason. I don't know what happened. It wasn't super unhealthy, but the leaves were kind of tiny. They're still not the biggest, but there was a lot of like little dead branches or growing like stems out of it, and I chopped a lot of that stuff out like a week or 2 ago, and everything's looking really nice now. Also, haven't been watering it as much. I feel like it kind of is okay with that. Doesn't like to be just sitting in soaked water. I can tell you this though, I grew mint in my aquaponics system back when I first had a little 10-gallon aquaponics system. I grew mint in that thing, and it grew huge. Like, it was enormous. The leaves were huge. It was spreading out. It was going to take over. But for some reason, when it's in the pot and in soil, it doesn't necessarily want all that water all the time. It's a very interesting contrast. If I was to stick some of this in the actual water in the aquaponics system, it would just thrive and go insane. But for some reason, I can't water it too much in the pot. It's kind of funny. Here we go. So we took out the basil pot, and all of its, like, a bunch of roots and stuff came out with it. And here's how I fill the aquaponics system back up. I turn that on, which is on right now. I have to keep an eye on it. And then I can pump water out of the aquarium into my grow bed. So I did that yesterday and accidentally pumped it almost down below the pump, which is not good. Then the pump will not blow up, but burn up. That pump will burn up. Hey, Josie, good morning. All right, remember, you guys can stay for the door prize. We'll be giving that out here after the pictures and stuff. Probably another 45 minutes or so. Okay, so this is kind of an undershot plus a shot at the pineapple. Pineapple does not look healthy to me. I've never grown a pineapple, but I mean, it looks like it's still doing its thing, but it's also like, look at these leaves. All these leaves coming off that are just dying. I mean, I guess I could cut those off, but that's not going to fix the problem. I might have to look into it. Look into pineapples. I really highly doubt that pineapples enjoy growing in straight water like this, but it is. So see what happens. Look at all the peppers though. There's probably 20 peppers on these 3 pepper trees, pepper branches, pepper plants, but they're more like pepper trees nowadays. After growing for so long, the stems all are like just trunks, tree trunks. What's up, Rumble? We got 7 awesome Rumblers in the house. Head over to Rumble if you're on Facebook. Rumble's where it's at. Okay, so next. Okay, another undershot of all the peppers. Different colors. Here is a pot that has one little tiny pod growing up there, little sproutling. I'm not sure what it is, because we buried a seed ball my son got from school. They gave him a little like pre-made ball of whatever. I don't know what kind of nutrients was in there, but it had some kind of seeds. Don't even know what they were. Probably flowers, I'm guessing. But they finally are starting to grow. Finally growing in there. Happy to see something happening. Speaking of happy to see something happening, this is the opposite. My praying mantis eggs, or sacs, I guess, or pods. I don't know what they're called, but I ripped one open because nothing. I never saw any come out. That's sad. I have to get a hold of Nature's Good guys. See if I can get a refund or maybe some more praying mantis eggs. This is the second one, and I didn't rip it apart yet, but there's no reason to mess with it. There's nothing in there. They're past the time it takes them to hatch, so I don't know. Maybe it's just going to take longer or something. Hi, Sheena. Good morning. You got zucchini, Rose? Zucchini's pretty big. I don't think I would grow that indoors. Here's the basil tree, and you can't really see the leaves anymore because they're kind of dying. But I was hoping that I could get it to reroot over here. I'll probably just have to pull it out, bury it. We got the leftover microgreens growing. I think that's arugula. We got a bull's blood beet right here where my mouse is that's growing. And on the other side, I believe it's I'm not sure what that is over you can't see it, but there's a few microgreens growing from the waste that I took off of the microgreen trays. Because you have these, you harvest all the microgreens, but then you have a bunch of little stragglers and little volunteers underneath there that are just they're not gonna be part of that harvest because they're kind of embedded down in there. And I just take that whole, waste off of the tray, put it in the table, see what happens. I got a lot of stuff growing already. I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is arugula. I don't know though. I didn't pay attention to which one I put there. I just put some stuff there, and I know it's edible. So I need to be a little better about that. That's probably what I need to improve on. I don't even know what this is. This is from a long time ago. Some scraps I buried, and then they all started growing up. I don't know what it is. I think it's edible. Got the voluntary broccoli plants, all broccoli over here. Broccoli just keeps broccoliing up. Broccoli is one of these, it's just a forever plant. Just every time I take the broccoli head off and then I decide to chop the plant out and bury it, more broccoli comes up. So I'll chop off like this little, this broccoli head, I guess you could call it, but it's it's like stretched out, and the flowers are everywhere. But you can still just chop that off, chop it up, throw it in some soup, whatever, and boom, broccoli and cheese soup all day. You got to order some bugs too. Yeah, me too. I wanted praying mantis. I don't have a huge need for them, but I think it would be a good preventative, and I just want to see them running around my table. So here's my little compost corner. Compost corner. That's a good name for a show. Compost corner right here, where I let it dry out a little bit in this corner, and then I sort of just bury it up under the soil. But this is also my low point, so I like to make sure that I'm not overflowing the table. I want to, leave the water on, but then check this every now and then to make sure it's not just flooding. Look at this giant broccoli. It's a voluntary broccoli plant that is now fallen over and interfered with the onions. It's interfering with my onions, but I do have a lot of onions going here, so I'm happy about that. I kind of went overboard. I went overkill because I've tried this like 3 other times where I took green onions from the store. Hold on, I need to pause it for that. Back just a hair. So let me finish what I'm saying here. The green onions, I just planted them from the store, and then they would grow, and I would eat them, but I guess I didn't leave enough for them to continue growing and make flour, and then also make seeds. But these ones finally did, so I'm happy about it. But now while you're looking over here, this little plant is the daikon radish that I had like a voluntary radish that grew, and I harvested the radish, but then I stuck the rest of this back in the soil. And I think it's going to die, but it's also trying to make flour or make seeds. So we're gonna see what we can do. Maybe it's not getting enough light. I don't know. Anyway, back to the video. Wow, I'm back. My computer just shut off and just rebooted on me. Wow, I don't know if I bumped the cords or something. I don't know what I did, but we're back. Hello, Margaret. I see you on the Rumble. Okay, let me share this back in. I don't know what happened, but it did, and we're here. So hit that like button anyway, and tell us tell us what you'd like to grow. Tell us if you've ever grown anything in the comments while I pull up these pictures again. Give me a moment to get us back on track. Just can't win for losing, you know. Just can't win for losing, whatever that means. Finish. Okay. Well, I have to go get to the pictures. Let's see, there's a few more indoors, and then I have to show you the outside, which is a lot going on out there too. Here we go. That's weird, man. You know, not gonna bitch about it, but it's always something, you know. Wait a minute. Ah, okay. Sorry about that. Hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. If you would hit that like button and tag a few friends, I would love to get an ad read. Need a few more people in here. Okay. Here, let me just go back to me. I'll flip forward to where we were. This video, I think, was halfway through this video when we got shut off. Aha, there we go. So yeah, that looks green still. It's just not like rerouting yet. And then this is the other thing. I don't know what those greens are there, but it's one of my microgreens. I don't like this tube, this hose for watering. Trying to figure out a better way to do it, and I found out, oh hey, I could stick it right through this hole out into the table again. But that wasn't quite doing it. So tried some other things that didn't work either. Guys, let me know if the music's too loud, please. Yesterday I went on for like an hour with the music too loud, so I would like to not do that. If anyone could help me out. So look at that. The hose is hanging up off of the floor. So I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Let's see, you're gonna see how I did it. I left it on the floor, so I still have to walk over it either way. But I came over here to the front side, back into that same hole, and there we go. Looking better now. That was an accidental picture. Okay, so here is the outside. I have to wait on that because I have another video to show you guys first. Is anybody out there music-wise? Does it sound good? Planting the raised beds now? Hell yeah, I saw that, Sheena. Well, thanks for stopping by, Rose. Is anyone there? I see 15 people here. Can someone tell me if the music sounds okay, volume-wise? Well, I'll just do it myself here. I don't even hear the music. Nice. Maybe I can go up a little tiny bit. Well, that's 20. I don't know if that's going to be okay or not. How about 17? We'll try that. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I couldn't hear it either, but might be because of this. I guess I can hear it a little bit now. I had to take down the old spinny fan. This is what I do to get the pictures for the show. I just kind of go around and I guess I can hear it a little bit now. Oh. Getting some good pictures. I should be posting this picture somewhere else too, I guess, but I do once in a while if I think it's a good picture. See how fast that RO water's coming out? It's because I have a pressurized tank. It doesn't require electricity, but you have to put some air pressure in there. It's got like a bladder inside the tank, and it gives you about 6 gallons. There's different size tanks, but this one is 6 gallons that will all come out like pretty good speed versus the RO system, which is like very slow, very slow. It'll slowly fill up that tank and then, you know. Shouts out to Mythic Genetics and Misfit Island. Yesterday or this Sunday, or Saturday, I'm sorry, I went to this event, and we're going to be showing it off tomorrow on the Indoor Farmer Reviews episode, 10 a.m. Let's see, I might just skip ahead a bit on this. It was a good. Was it really only like 7 minutes? Okay. Getting those close-ups. I got a lot of kind of clutter in here. It's time to clear this room out. Maybe organize somewhere else. I do keep a lot of. I have a whole room full of like extra material, like reusable material and stuff, scraps, and it's not always fun because scraps don't look the best when you're trying to organize, but it is something that I like to use or like to repurpose material. Josh Ward, what's up, man? Got my son today, so got to do that summertime thing. Probably get those dogs out for a walk or something. Go to the park or something like that. I didn't notice my hair was sticking out of my hat like that. It's kind of funny. One of my Japanese anime. What's going on? Did some minimal work in the video, but I try not to get my hands too dirty when I'm working with my cameras. Mom, I told you not to come in my room when I'm cleaning my room. I don't know why it made me think of that, but name that movie below. Yeah, so I got lots of broccoli still. Not necessarily something I wanted, but it just keeps coming back for more. It's good for you too, though. It's good for you. I did plant more things on the table, but I'm not seeing any of it come up yet, which is a little disconcerting. I'm a little worried about that, but also, yeah, it is what it is. I'll tell you what, one of the things I planted was about a dozen miniature tomatoes that were dried out. I let them dry out, but I didn't cut them open and separate out the seeds. I should have tried to get them to start outside the table in some like wet paper towels, or moist, I guess, paper towels is a better way to put it. And also, there are other ways to do it, but I should have done that before I buried them. But I buried them, spread them out, thinking that, in my mind, I think, well, a tomato plant outside, once it's full and there's tomatoes falling off, and those tomatoes rot and kind of decompose, and then you end up with voluntary tomato plants. So I thought that I should be able to just bury those tomatoes, those miniature tomatoes. They dried up on my counter, let them all get all like pruny like, and it's nothing's happening. So either maybe the worms are eating the tomatoes and the seeds whole. I messed it up though. I messed it up. Shouts out to Colin Smith, who sent me that tomato plant, and it grew, and I was able to get tomatoes off of it. I didn't realize that you're able to harvest those tomatoes and then it will reproduce or keep producing. So I actually just had one harvest, and then I used them all to try to grow more. And it looks like that's going to be unsuccessful. Ooh, I just saw a flyer in there. All the more reason to get some more ladybugs and praying mantis in here. I think I'm going to go over to Grow Up Garden and Pekin. I need to stop standing like that when I'm on camera. Just sticking the gut out as far as it'll go. See, that's normal right there. I do have a little gut. I need to work on it. There are sometimes when I stand and it looks like it's just 10 more inches out. I mean, not some guys want 10 more inches, but not in the gut. You know what I mean? Need to get out there in the sunlight. Get out there and what's the matter, bud? Am I bugging you? Why are you crying? You gotta go potty? Don't cry, Mr. Sprout, Mr. Co-host. Co-host with the mo-host. You poor guy. What's the matter? What's the matter? Oh, was that it? Huh? That was everything. Let me make sure. Go back. Okay, yep. All right. Yeah, just a little video of me getting some work done and of my chub. Not the pants chub, but my gut chub. You know what I mean? The gut chub. Okay, let's go back out. Let's go outside and show you the voluntary cannabis plants. There's a whole bunch of them, and they're volunteering for sure. There's one in the pot. That pot I took outside. It had some pests on it, and I was like, let's just take it outside. And then it cleared up, but I'm going to get a closer picture in a minute. But look at this. This one here is just the tallest one. They look really healthy. I'm just going to kind of leave them alone and let them do their thing. But it's sad, though, because I don't want to have to build another wall to block the light from my neighbor again. So maybe, you know what? I'm gonna see. I don't think I have a picture for it on here, but I have another idea. Yeah, look how big the leaves are. It's pretty good. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna be talking about this for the next few weeks. You guys are gonna see it almost every episode. Check in on these outdoor plants and this cool bed frame holding up my fence. It's just a temporary fence to keep the doggies in, but temporary fences could last years. I want a nice privacy wooden fence. I'd love to have one day, but we'll see. This is a close-up of this plant. It looks like it was flowering, even though I'd never changed the light cycle on it. It doesn't know what to do, but it still has some green. Look at how frosty it is. It's like frosty and veg. A frosty veg plant. I haven't really messed with it. I did water it a little bit when it was hot out. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think it will actually re-veg, or is it just going to be, for lack of a better term, retarded throughout its life until it's wintertime? I don't know. I don't know. It's funny, though. Oh, I see some toes. There you go, ladies. Toes in the shot. Okay. Anyway, I might have to add some more nutrients. I talked about that last week. Give it something. Give it a little food. But look at that. Like, it looks fuzzy. Of course, there's dog hair on it. It's outside. My dog was shedding. Doesn't look healthy, that's for sure, but it's more green each week, so it's coming back in some way. I don't know if that means it's actually going to, do anything that I want it to. It's interesting, though, that's for sure. Let me see a hashtag WTIF out there. Let's see. We got more than 10 people in the house. Can we get 5 hashtag WTIFs? Look at that double plant and some dog toys. But that's funny because that plant, like, I mowed over some of these and then they would grow back up anyway. Those little ones are too little. I'll probably just rip those out, but there's like 5 or 6 or more. I didn't count them, but really good size, good healthy looking plants. I don't know what I should do with them. Here's a problem I have. A problem. This is my backyard. I don't know why there's a big dirt patch in my yard. I think it was the dogs. I think the dogs, like my husky, loves to come back here and run around in circles. She runs in circles, and I think that's what happened. That's crazy, though. I never would have thought that. This is like one of the few areas I get sun in the backyard, and just went straight to dirt, which is crazy. And here's my other problem zone back here. I have this shitty fence all the way around the backyard, and I just can't wait to replace. But I want to do it in like a somewhat of a scientific way. When I do a fence, I want first of all I want to have a gate that lets me down into the gully, and then I'm going to build steps down into there, and maybe have a little wooded area to hang out in with some tiki torches or something. That's kind of a future fantasy. But I also think about having like a pond somewhere, like build a pond up off of the gully and have it attached to the ground here, and then have I actually have a bunch of old gutters that I got off my roof or off my off of my house. These gutters I kept, and I'm thinking of like finding some kind of project I can use outside, use gutters where maybe I have water feeding into the pond using the gutters off of the fences, the fence post or the fence line, have these gutters up at the top, and then maybe grow something in the gutters even. There could be a lot of things happening with them. Now, the problem is they get full of stuff, just like your gutters do in your house. So I don't know. Might be interesting to say the least. Now you could have gutters full of with like soil and growing plants, and then the runoff just you know eventually makes its way to the pond. I could see that. I just have to have like a filter system or something like that. But this is like the low area in my yard. It's starting to fill in. It's starting to fill in. I've been putting as much scraps as I could in this area. Starting to get some weeds growing up. I don't know what these are, but I want some plants to grow because it'll help to the roots will help keep all this in and not just wash down through the gully. Been doing what I can, just kind of slowly filling in scraps and stuff like that. Here's the gutter, and the gutter's like got stuff growing all around it. I have all of this like landscaping that just keeps coming back. Of course, those are weeds. Keeps coming back every year, and some people have expressed interest in taking some of it. I may want to take it all out and give my dogs a little bit more room to run, because that's like 4 feet wide, and then it goes all the way down the length of my fence. So they definitely lose a little bit of square footage like that. Hey, I got 2 hashtag WTIFs. Thanks, guys. 14 people here. I guess some of you are listening while working. Sheena's out there in the raised beds. I think that's awesome. I feel like anybody watching me while they're doing other work, I think that's cool. So yeah, I got to get in here with some weed eating and some just like tear it all down. Honestly, I don't care about the landscaping. I know there's some value in it though, so I've kind of left it alone. But there is vining. I looked it up. I swear I thought this was poison oak. The 5 leaves. When I looked it up, it looks different. That's not poison oak. I don't know what it is, but it's growing everywhere, and I don't think it's good. I think it's a poison sumac maybe, or something like that. Definitely not good. These are flowers in here, and just a bunch of garbage. Like there's some good stuff in there, flowers and then landscaping, but I just don't want to deal with any of it. It's time to rip it out, and then I really want to get this fence replaced. That's a very old picket fence. I put another fence in front of it, so just to keep the dogs from getting through. But yeah, it's what I could get done at the time, but definitely it's going to be a on the to-do list, on the project list for a long time. Then I have this on the other project list, which is a bush that is mine, but it's on the other side of my fence because of it's just a temporary fence. But I actually have more yard over there. I'm losing some of my yard by not putting in a new fence. So I got to also I just cut this bush down to nothing. It will just keep growing back, and I don't know how to just. I mean, it would be a major project to get this thing completely taken out of the ground and everything. Maybe one day, maybe I'll do that, but for now, I'm just going to take a chainsaw to the bottom of it and just clear it out. Take all that scrap back to my backyard, of course, pile it up. Maybe not in the yard, but right outside the yard in the fence in the gully area. Just pile it up. I might end up with some beavers back there with all the scrap I'm piling up. Beavers in the yard. I do have a lot of groundhogs. Anybody else have problems with groundhogs on a yearly basis? Groundhogs can be really a pain in the butt. All right. $187. And it is June 2nd, 2025. Cool. Well, lots to do, as you can see. Like, it's hard to be an indoor farmer when you still have a home to maintain. You still have all these projects outside to get done, clear out the garage, do this, do that, and so it can be overwhelming. Just try and make a list, which I make lists and then I don't, and then I forget where the list is. So I hate the list thing. I try to do it. Sometimes it helps to make a list just to organize your thoughts. So I have two lists here, and I don't think I can check anything off on either one of them. Oh, I can. I did get a display for my hat box, or my hats. Did not get more Hydroton yet. I do need to go to Grow Up. I'm going to get some more ladybugs because I heard they had some in stock. Man, I definitely have to get on these lists. Got a lot going on. Well, in that in that in the spirit of getting things done, let's get to the wheel and do the number wheel for today. If you're interested in getting in on the door prize, I've talked about it a bunch of times. I'm not going to talk about it again. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. Well, let's go check the number post. Maybe 2 or 3 people on it. Let's see. Oh, one person didn't hit the like button. All right. We got nobody at number 1 this week. Michael Gray, number 2. Harry Wood, number 3. Remember, you get an extra chance at the door prize if you go over to Rumble, hit that like button, say something in the comments in the live chat, and you can also go to X to get an additional chance to win. If you comment, hit the like button. You got to comment on the post, not on the live chat. Ronald Blackwell, number 4. Margaret Jett, number 5. Didn't forget you this time, Margaret. Sorry about that yesterday. Kayla, number 6. Rose, number 7. Seawood, JJC, number 8. Chris, number 9. And Kim Marston, number 10. I gave you one on Rumble. I have my phone and I'm transplanting right now. That's okay. You're working too. I appreciate that. It's like a work along show. I think that's going to happen more often during the day, and I didn't really think about that before switching my schedule. So, could be an interesting dynamic, to say the least. Okay, Sheena, number 11. All right. Can't tell who it was. Ah, Rose. I see. Rose. Gotta hit that like button. I didn't put too many instructions, and that was one of them. And that does include the door prize. So I'm going to be doing that here in a minute. You have to hit the like button. Tag a few friends would be nice, but I don't expect anyone to do that. Very nice, but no one does. You go into other live streams and you just see people tagging like they're just life depends on it. It's okay. Just call me Eeyore. I haven't seen a comment on Facebook in half an hour. I don't know if anyone can comment or not. Colin and Ted, you probably both would have said hi, but I'm not seeing any comments. Guess I'll refresh the screen. I don't know. If you're on Facebook, say hi. I may not do the. I might not add the Facebook to the door prize. It's just not worth it. All right, number 7. Number 7. Who was number 7? Rose, you got to hit that like button. You're the winner, but I'm going to put a question mark. I appreciate when people appreciate support. Thanks, everybody. All right, let's go over here. JB, yesterday's winner in the house. I think you're by yourself over there on the Facebook, so if you want to come over to Rumble, where we have only slightly more people. Well, that's it. It's like Margaret on the X. I don't know, guys. 4 people is not enough to do a door prize. If somebody's watching on X, or I'm sorry, not X, but on Facebook, you want to be on the door prize, say something. Comment. I know you may not want to comment, but that's the only way to get on this door prize. Oh well, I'm just going to do it. We'll see you guys later. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Are you here, Chris? Okay, congrats, Chris. You had pretty good odds. Don't know if it's getting my messages. Yeah, I saw you. You're on the screen. You see your message. Your comments are on the screen, brother. See them right there on the screen. Where did I write you down at, Chris? Ah. Facebook must be broken because not really seeing any. Let's see. Let's see. Your phone froze, had to back out. Yeah, it's happening for seems like every website, but it's only on my live streams. I'm so special that I'm the only one that ever has technical problems. We're at an hour 15. I had other things planned, but what's the point? Yeah. Well, I was going to go over here. I guess we could pop in for a minute. Go check in on the Garden Hortisketch, or not Hortisketch, but the Garden Savvy community. GardenSavvy.com. Let me know if you would like a discount on a membership. Okay, it's got like friends and stuff. Okay, I didn't know it had that. Interesting. Someone liked my post. Okay, a couple of likes. Comment. Okay, that's 7 months ago. Looks nice and fresh. Is there a way to reply to people on here? Report? No, no. There we go. Thank them. Let's see. How else do we do? I don't really get on here much, so I'm going to try to do this a little bit on Mondays, maybe. What if I maybe post a picture? Let's post something from today. Let's do that. Let's see. What's a good picture? Do this one. Picture doesn't seem to want to show up yet. I hope it's working. Let's go. Let's try it out. Cannot save the uploaded file. Why? Why? It doesn't like my picture. It's not good. Does it have to be a JPEG? I guess I could try another picture, but that's the picture I want. Well, I guess I can upload it to Canva and then download it as a JPEG, which sounds like a ridiculous amount of work for that, but that's okay. I can make it happen. Let's see, presentation. Okay. Computer just went frozen. Okay, let's see. Picture window froze up on me. That's good. Haven't had to hit Control Alt Delete in a while. That's an unusual problem to have in the middle of the show. What the heck, man? It's not even there in the tasks. Holy shit. Okay, well, is there another way of doing this? Wow. Okay, I guess I'm not meant to do it while I'm on the show. This is crazy. Check this out for whoever might actually be looking. I can't close it. I can't move it. I can't do anything. And Task Manager doesn't help. Insane. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. This is pretty silly that I have to do this. Change it to a JPEG. And get back to Garden Savvy. Choose a file. Hey, that worked. Where's the words that I put in there? There's no words? What did I write that for? What the Wow. It took away... You guys can see in real time the frustration of just stuff happening to you for no reason. This is I got to type it all out again. This is the first aquaponics system that I built. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's look down here for a little bit. What is that? Rare seeds. Rare seeds, okay. I'm gonna hit the like button on a bunch of these. I like this idea of a gardening social media, but they had, it's going to be a while before it's like got a lot of people. So we want to encourage it a little bit. Wish it would just like when I hit the button and not make me pick one, but that's okay. He posted the same thing twice. Interesting. Spreading plants to fill in open areas. In my opinion, this is one of the most versatile ground covers you can find throughout the growing season. You'll see a virtual carpet of bright green foliage that continues right into winter. On June, July, it produces a mass of tiny purple-blue flowers that with white markings. Tough, long-lasting plant. Blue star creeper is easy to grow. Blue star creeper, okay. Each plant reaches a height of no more than a few inches, spreading out to 6 inches or so, making it ideal for rock gardens and stones. With a maximum height of 12 inches, it makes colorful ground cover plants that is popular with swallowtail butterflies. It's a good choice for containers, baskets, and window boxes. For more information, visit the website. Okay, it's cool. Plan for fall garden. Fall garden. That's pretty cool. So yeah, if you like gardening and you like growing, you may want to come and join this community. I know there's groups on other websites, but this is just one of the benefits of the Garden Savvy website. So if you go back up to the top here, you can get access to a garden AI, which is only for growing and gardening, that you can ask it different things. And you can also, I mean, a lot of things. It's a pretty extensive AI. And you also have groups that you can put together inside here. You can also, I mean, they've got it set up for expansion. Of course, they're working on it. It looks like community home. What's that? Community home. Okay, that's where we're at, I think. Yeah. So you can go over here and you can go to the garden Hortisketch, which I think you have to go here to do. No? Oh, you just click Hortisketch over here. Okay. You can plan your garden. You can space it out, and you can type in exactly what you want, the exact dimensions, and it's all interactive. They've been adding a lot to it, so check it out. It also keeps track of a lot of information for you, and you can take notes in there too. It's actually really valuable. I should probably start taking notes in there, because then you can look at it later, like a year later, and it'll have like data for you to be able to crunch the numbers on, like maybe what crops were worth growing, what wasn't, a lot of other things, I'm sure. Well, it's been an interesting morning, to say the least. So I will probably head over to Locals now to have a little private sesh. Oh, hi, Cullen. For some reason, I'm not seeing your guys' comments, so I hope that you all are having a good day. My comments work, at least. Man, seems like a lot of technical problems going on today. I do have to do another live stream, probably, I don't know, probably later on this evening, to do all these game night winners. I'll probably do a quick live stream on Facebook just to name them all out, and then we'll do another live like this to where I can spend the time and take care of people. Maybe I'll do that on Locals. That's what I could do. Yeah. All right, guys. If you care at all about what I'm doing, hit those engagements and such. Maybe tell a friend about it. I'm not the guy that you come to watch to find out how to do everything, but maybe the guy that can help hold things together like the glue between the people who don't grow their own food and the people that do. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to do out here. So it's hard to be motivated on this internet thing, but that's why there's a lot of stuff to do in real life. Get off the internet and go do it. So that's what we're gonna do. See you guys later tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll be doing a review on the where did I go? Oh yeah, the Canna Craft event I went to over the weekend. So it was a good one. Oh hey, someone chatted towards the end here. Some of them actually were. All right, man. Have a good day, Chris, and whoever else might be listening. Even if you hate me, hope you have a good day. See y'all later. Remember, it doesn't matter what you don't like about me, what you think I'm, an idiot. Everybody's got to eat. So that's the message. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm wailing the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro set up, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor